Hello all, myself Vedangi and I'm a legal intern at Lexis and Company. So guys, my another topic for today's discussion is laws related to child sexual abuse in India. So child sexual abuse includes rape, sexual harassment, etc. and it is a problem which has become a growing concern in our country. It is a fact that millions of boys and girls are sexually abused within and outside their homes by their relatives or by known persons, and in India children are expected to obey and respect others without questioning their actions, and the impact of child sexual abuse is worse in our country than in any other country in the world. Child sexual abuse is a mental or physical violation of a child with a sexual intent, generally by a person who is in a position of power and trust of a child. And apart from the definition, sexual abuse also includes exhibitionism, touching and fondling of a child, assault, which includes rape, an adult persuading or encouraging a child to hear, read, or view any pornographic material, an adult forcing a child to indulge in any sexual activity, an adult marrying a minor, minor marrying another minor is considered to be a forced relation. Children are not only the victims of child sexual abuse, but they are also traumatized by the law because they are unaware of the act itself, and due to the trauma which they are facing, which they are suffering, their future gets jeopardized. And there are very few cases of child sexual abuse which get reported, and other victims do not even share their plight with their parents. The worst part is the feeling of the silence and the shame which characterizes the cases of sexual abuse amongst the children. And to overcome the detrimental effects of child sexual abuse, youth must be protected from this harm. It is imperative to capture the perpetrators of the sexual assault against Indian children, and the increasing menace of child sexual abuse is not just limited to domestic spheres but also extended to places which aim at protecting the interests of the child, such as juvenile justice homes. So the main aim of Juvenile Justice Act is to consolidate and amend the law relating to juveniles in conflict with the law and children in need of care and protection by providing proper care, protection and treatment, and by catering to their development needs, and by providing a child-friendly approach in adjudication and disposition of the matters in the best interest of the children and for their ultimate rehabilitation through various institutions established under this enactment. But in spite of the aim and the objective of the Juvenile Justice Act, its implementation has resulted in child sexual abuse in many states, and many of the rape cases have been taken place in juvenile justice homes, that is with special families, observation homes or shelter homes. And the girls, they remain at high risk of assault and abuse even in the protection homes. And there are many cases in which the perpetrator are the staff member, including the caretakers and security guards. So to overcome the growing menace of sex crimes against children in our country, there are legal frameworks of rights and guarantees enacted in the support of the children, and these include a vast array of legal enactments ranging from constitution from one point of view to the IPC and other statutory provisions like the POCSO Act. Now talking about the legal provisions related to child sexual abuse. So until 2012 there was no appropriate legal framework in our country which deals with the child sexual abuse, and earlier sex crimes against children were protected by section 354, 375, 377 and 509 of IPC. Section 354 of IPC deals with the assault or criminal force to women with the intent to outrage her modesty. Section 374 deals with rape. Section 509 states any person who intends to insult the modesty of a woman through word, gesture or act, and Section 377 deals with the unnatural offence. The pornography was dealt with the Young Persons Harmful Publication Act 1956, and in the year 2012 finally the Parliament of India passed the Protection of Children Against Sexual Offences Act for the victims of child sexual abuse below the age of 18 years. Now let's talk about the salient features of POCSO Act. So firstly, POCSO Act is gender neutral and the consent of child is immaterial under this act. Secondly, this law mandates the reporting and recording of sexual abuse against a child, and the section 19 subsection 1 of the POCSO Act makes it compulsory to report the offence. Thirdly, this act lists the sexual crimes committed against a child, and fourthly, it also provides protection to minors during the judicial process. Fifthly, section 5 clause J of this act states that whoever commits penetrative sexual assault on a child, which in the case of a female child makes a child pregnant as a consequence of sexual assault. And however, even in these offences, women can be joined as the abettors under section 16 of the POCSO Act. Now talking about the provisions of the POCSO Act, so as soon as the matter is reported to the police officer, within 24 hours the case should be presented before the Child Welfare Committee. Second is the statement of the minor should be recorded in his or her home or his or her favorite place only by the female police officer. This act also provides a speedy trial and in-camera proceedings to ensure confidentiality, and the minor should not be called in the court repeatedly, and he or she may be testified through video from home. The medical examination must be conducted by a female doctor in the presence of person whom the minor trusts, and consent of the parents or the guardians if present. Otherwise, the consent of the medical professional on the behalf of the minor is required. The defense should root all the questions to the judges and cannot ask any aggressive or character assassination questions to the juvenile, and the minor should not be exposed to the accused in any way during the recording of the evidence. Now talking about the punishment provided under POCSO Act, so for penetrative sexual assault, the sentence not less than 7 years extended up to life imprisonment along with fine under section 4 of the POCSO Act. Second is aggravated sexual assault committed by a person of trust or authority like police officer under section 6 would be punished with not less than 10 years and extended up to rigorous life imprisonment and fine. And for the non-penetrative sexual assault committed by a person with sexual assault must be punished with not less than 3 years and extended up to 5 years of imprisonment under section 10 of the POCSO Act. And under section 10, if the aggravated sexual assault is done by the authority or by the person of the trust, it would be punished with not less than 5 years and extended up to 7 years of imprisonment. And for sexual harassment under section 12 of the POCSO Act, it prescribes a punishment of 3 years along with fine. And as per the section 42 of the POCSO Act, where an act or omission constitutes an offence punishable under this act, and also under section 166A, 354A, 354B, 354C, 354D, 370, 370A, 375, 376, 376A and 509 of the IPC, then notwithstanding anything contained in any law for the time being in force, the offender found guilty of such offence shall be liable to punishment under this act or under the IPC as provides for the punishment which is greater in degree. So what we can conclude from the entire discussion is that sexual abuse of a child is veiled in secrecy, and it is essential for the parents and the guardians of the child to get sensitized and understand the degree of the problem. And it is also crucial for the parents to create a protective environment for the child and to guide their children how to protect themselves from sexual abuse. So guys, that's all about my discussion on this particular topic. I hope you all liked my video. If you guys have any doubt with regard to this video or to the previous one, then you can comment in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel Lex Click. We will meet in the next video. Till then, bye.